Hello, Sporp here. This is my infinite notebook. You type something and the notebook writes your words to the screen. Keep writing and it'll keep filling up the screen. No takesies backsies. Anything that you write, you can't edit. It's become my favorite tool for writing anything. First drafts, second drafts, plans, ideas, notes, scripts, business plans, dream journaling, flow writing, you name it, I've written it on my infinite notebook. I've even written the first draft of this very script on my infinite notebook. But before we continue, are you an avid writer like me? This is a tool designed for writers, artists, creatives, that sort of person. So if you or a friend of yours is the kind of creative that sometimes just doesn't know how to start, keep watching. I'll need your help later. But first, let me tell you a story of how I got to what you see before you. I have a problem. I'm a writer. It's not a stroke my ego sort of thing. I just write a lot. I write on paper by hand. I write all the time in my notes app. I write on my computer. And I hate each of these methods of writing for various reasons. Paper. I get anxiety at the thought of my favorite notebook running out of space. I also write like a left-handed person, which smudges ink everywhere and hurts my wrist. But paper has its advantages. Total freedom of where you can write on the page, and you can even doodle as well. But still, this is not my solution. I want something better. My phone and my computer, they're similar beasts. They're very portable, but it's a mess of information. I don't want to look at a blue screen, beaming blue light into my brain for my job, for my entertainment, at restaurants and bars and other people's homes. They're distracting and they are everywhere. And speaking of distractions, I get messages and notifications and dings and dings and dings all day long that make me lose my train of thought. I want something that doesn't interrupt my writing process, and phones and laptops do. Phones are great for jotting down quick notes in the middle of the night if you don't mind blasting yourself with light. And keyboards are amazing. A mouse-keyboard combo on a good laptop makes editing a breeze. However, I don't want to be editing. I want to be drafting. Computers and phones are great for editing, deleting, cutting, pasting, rewording, rephrasing, but that's not the drafting process. I just need to get the thoughts out now and improve them later. So I can hear your brains rattling. Okay, it should have a keyboard, but it should reduce to completely cut out editing time. Why not get a typewriter? I grew up with a typewriter in my home. I do not want a typewriter. They are cumbersome, they're mechanically complex. They have a key for every single letter of the alphabet. They're a nuisance to deal with, they're a nuisance to repair, and they have consumables. Yet again, you have to use paper and you have to use ribbon tape. So, handwriting, phones and tablets and laptops, and typewriters, all not good enough.
That's not good enough!
I need something that has a keyboard, cannot run out of space, is portable like a laptop, a phone, or a notebook, but no blue screen, and it can't have any consumables, and it has to digitize my writing, because I'm not taking a picture of every sheet of paper that I write. I'm not doing it. I know I'm not doing that. Which brings us to two possible solutions. Either I get some sort of e-reader that already exists and hack it in a way where it works with my writing process, or I make my own tablet. I made my own tablet. Both seem like a similar amount of headache at a glance. I've tried to hack stuff before on stuff that is in a tightly maintained environment. I'm not interested in fighting that fight. I'm not interested in going up against a Mang organization. And I would love to not be in a big tech ecosystem if I have the choice. These organizations already know far too much about me, way more than I'd ever be comfortable sharing with my parents or my partner or anybody. Plus, I don't want to be roped into some subscription service, and I don't want to have my books DRM'd. I've been burned by DRM in the past. This is going to be an open source, ideally like an OP1 for writers. Something where you can consume and produce with minimal overhead in any direction. I want minimal buttons, minimal switches, minimal GUIs. I want this to be about the writing process. It's perfect for me, but I know I'm a developer. This will sound crazy to the layperson, but to get my writings, I have to SSH into the Raspberry Pi and copy and paste the writings from the Pi to my computer to edit. I know that's unacceptable for the average user. We'll work on it. I know a lot of work has to go into this in order for it to be widely used. And when I say it's perfect for me, I mean it. I've been writing on this thing nigh daily since I've made it. And I have zero anxiety when it comes to running out of space on this thing. I ran the numbers. I would have to keep writing on this thing for 2,700 years in order to fill up its 16 gig, hard drive is not the right term, the memory card. And if you can't tell, I am enamored. I finally found a perfect project for me to pour myself entirely into. Because at the end of the day, even if I don't sell one of these things, I've only made my favorite notebook even better. It's a win-win. Another thing to love is it's dead simple to make. It's 4 parts: a Raspberry Pi, an e-ink screen, a battery, and a 3D printed case. That's it. With their powers combined, forms my new favorite writing tool. So, if this is something that interests you, subscribe. Come along for the process. Help me make this thing, especially if you're a writer, or if you know a writer. Send this to a writer you know. Send this video, and I want their input. I want everyone's input to try to figure out how to tailor this thing to be the best it can be. Like I said, it's perfect for me, but what's missing for this to be your perfect creative expression tool? Version 2 is on its way. It's going to be a lot less scuffed. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you want to support the channel, I've made a board game that I love to death. You should get a copy. It's kind of like a Catan level in terms of complexity, but it's very fun and it's very backstabby. It reveals a lot about the people you're playing with. People get angry. I've seen people get frustrated with each other for this, and I love seeing that passion. Go check it out. It's fun. I've been working on it for a good 5 or 6 years now. I'm very proud of it and what it has. We made the first cards on this thing in PowerPoint, and it's come a long way. And I know, because of that, this is going to come a long way too. And I'm excited to see where it goes.